Yeah, welcome back, you Gundam legends. So today we're changing it up. We are building a new type of model today, and it is the Kotobukiya Evangelion Test Type 01 Awake version. So Unit 01 is my favorite. Oh, Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time. It was also the very first anime that I actually purchased for myself, and I've watched it like a bunch of times, and I even watched all the new ones. I haven't completed Evangelion 3.0 yet, but I will get there. So this is what we're building today. We just finished building the G-Quacks, very cool. And this was another model that was voted on, and this one was voted on by Brandon Loves Horror. So this one is for you, Brendan. Hope you guys enjoy it. So I did start assembling it, and I put together the first leg. And I'm going to be very honest. There's not a lot of parts. This build shouldn't be too long, but it's very intricate, as you'll see how you have to position some of the parts. And the very first part was one of the biggest nightmares I ever had to deal with a model. And as you can see, the leg is pretty long. It's the length of the high-grade G-Quacks. So let's get down to the assembly. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Check the playlists. There's always new stuff coming out. Like I said, once the summer was over, I was going to be much more regular with the uploads, and I am a man of my word. Don't let the Le Creuset family name deceive you. So these are the steps for the legs. And as you can see, like I said, there's not a lot of parts. But sliding the parts around, especially over here, and even this very first part, is a huge pain in the buttocks. All right, so this is the very first step that we're going to be working on. So the orange part, the pig will slide at the bottom hole over here. So this does not actually get held in place, it will just come out, which is one of the things that are going to make things very complicated. And then you're going to have this part. God, I despise this. And it's going to be in this groove over here. And yep, so we're going to need now to place this over that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But the fun is not over yet, because the next part is just as frustrating. So the best way to do it is to have it lying on a flat surface, and then you Yep, see, it just popped out. And you are going to have to keep on separating it. Okay. Dude. All right, so it took me a good almost 10 minutes And it's finally in. So now, the next part. Alright, now you're going to attach this part at the bottom latch. Okay. And that part is in. And then we slide the black part over it. Okay. And that's the knee. All right, and now the nightmare continues with the assembling of the leg. So what you're going to need to do, you stupid bastard. I have to redo this part because I wasn't paying attention. This has to be facing the outside. All right. Okay, erase that part. I was holding it the wrong way. So you have to make sure that you've assembled it this way, making sure that that's pointing outwards. So this will be capped like this, and you will need to insert both of these parts hanging loose right in this section. So I don't know, it took me like 15 minutes to do it on the first leg. So let's see if I can do it in one try now with the second leg. And at the same time, this peg has to be through this hole over here. So nothing that I have assembled so far was as big a pain in the ass as this thing was. Okay, so I tried it. It looks like the strategy I used in this video, on this leg actually worked. So what I recommend, if you will be picking up this kit, be prepared for frustration, trials and errors. Slide this part down first, not all the way, just like a couple of millimeters, and then place this part in over here. So I was able to do it, as you guys saw, on the first try, and on this leg it took me like at least 15 minutes. All right, very good. The hardest part is actually over. Right, continuing. All right, so now we're gonna put the outer plates onto the leg. So be very careful with this one. It's not a manicure nail, but this is extremely sharp. It's so sharp that it just hit the subscribe button for you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try a different tactic before on the other leg I put this part on after the outer cap. So, and it was actually quite painful because, like I said, this thing is very, very sharp. Okay. All right, I'm not gonna push it. I think actually I had to do it the way I did it at first. Okay, and then you're gonna put the pieces, line up the holes in the pegs. So I'm not certain why this one. Okay, there we go. Okay, excellent. Cool. All right, and now we're going to put these parts together. Okay, so you're going to put the peg through, and you also need to make sure that this part gets into that section. Okay, very good, like that. Now put in the PVC part. Oh, I had upside down. So make sure that it is like that. You have a space at the bottom. And then you cap it like this. Beautiful. Right, so now you'll be able to bend the knee completely double jointed like that. Awesome. Now this is, I usually don't do these parts on video, but it's very, very important. So you have to make sure that you are positioning it exactly like this, because this is going to be the articulation for your ankle. Because if you put it in the wrong way, you will not be able to move your Evangelion's foot. So the plate will be inserted here. The foot will be here. And then this is the part that will slide up in there. All right, so now we're going to assemble the foot. So first thing we do, we take this part and you're going to put this right here. And then you're going to slide on the shoe, like so. And then the other foot. Right. All right, then now we're going to assemble the rest of the foot. So I recommend starting with this side, the larger part of the toe section. And then you grab this tiny piece and you slide it. And the camera, of course, is picking up all the horrible mistakes. Okay. And then we add the sole. And then the heel. Awesome. And you got a nice little flexibility. Tap to the beat. Okay, and then you can take the PVC part. Make sure, of course, that the hole is pointing outside of this section. And you seal it like so. All right, and now we're going to put all this plastic together. So, like we said, part with a hole on the outside. So this is going to connect to the waist. And then this part goes right in there. And final this right in there. I don't like how loose it is, but it literally will not go in deeper. That's what she said. So we have both legs assembled. All right, awesome. All right, now let's start building the next part, which I think is the upper body. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please drop a big old like and subscribe. All right, so we assembled the legs, and now we're going to start building the next part, which is the waist. All right, so this is the first step to the assembly. So I put the PVC part in already. So you're going to make sure that you're orienting your pieces like this, the points to the points, and then you can take this part with the ball bearing, and make sure that this is pointed in this direction. And then you line up your parts and snap together. Like so. Next. Okay, now we're going to assemble the abs. So this part facing towards you, and you're going to line up like this. Careful, because this part is pretty sharp. And then we insert the back. Okay. There you go. Now, there's only one way it's going to fit, so with enough maneuvering, you will get it in the spot. All right, now we're going to assemble these parts. So I want to highlight this part over here. So this is a part number I7. So there are two things that stick out at the bottom, at the sides. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Now, the image shows us that the nub part is still attached and it goes in that hole. But then it shows us a picture over here that indicates a break. But the instructions are only in Japanese. So this is what it's supposed to look like on the inside. So this peg is supposed to go in that hole, like that. And now this goes into the back hole over here. And then dude, it's so okay, like this. And now I'm going to hope that everything lines up smoothly. Okay, so this is officially one of the biggest BS kits that I've ever assembled. I don't understand why in the book it tells you to break these, but if you cut them off, this thing is not staying there. And having to pinch everything together while making sure that none of these three parts come out of their sockets was all sorts of fun I never want to revisit. Makes me not want to build another Koto Bukiya kit ever again. Okay, so now we're going to take the part that we just assembled and we're going to attach this part right over here. Okay, all right, so you have to actually insert it while actually looking at the back. Yeah, so you're going to turn it around and you're going to slightly angle it downwards like that. And then you kotobukiya it together. Okay, so now we're gonna put together the midsection, or the crotch area. So we take the Y looking piece. Why? Because that's what the instructions say to do. Like, also, and subscribe. Okay, so there is a particular way of inserting it. So it's hard to actually tell because it's black on black, but you put it right there. And then, be careful with the orientation. So that. And then the other one, the other direction. So that's why you have to make sure you have the right orientation. So they go through, like so. And then we have the back piece. And we snap it together, like so. Okay, so now we're going to attach these parts. So you see that rectangle protrusion at the top, the rectangular recess on this one. There we go. I should have cleaned it up, whatever. Okay, and now we take the part like that. Okay, we're getting there, we're almost done. Okay, so now we're gonna attach these parts. So it doesn't specify anything regarding what to start with. So let's start with the sides. Bro, get the hell in there. That's what she said. So it's really hard because there's so many curves on, first of all, this, and this is also curved. It's really hard to get a good feel on it. And especially on the angle where I'm trying to look at the camera and the model. Okay, so the way to do it is this part has to go on first, and then you layer on the plates. But it's still going to be a very frustrating placement of the freaking kit. All right. Holy smokes, man. This, like, honestly, this has been one of the most frustrating kits I have ever built. And it's my 8th kit. And Brendan, after I finish assembling this kit, you sir are banned from this channel forever suggesting my favorite anime of all time. Man. Nah, I'm joking, bro. Okay, so we are going to assemble the body unit. So if I'm understanding this correctly, this is the bottom, obviously. And then this is the centerpiece. And then this is the top part. Oh, you mother lover. Brendan, you are suspended officially from this channel now. Get out of here. God. All right, several days later. And there we go, the midsection of our Evangelion Unit 01. So now we could put the legs together. All right, let's insert okay, perfect. First leg in. And the leg unit has been the bottom half has been assembled. So hope you guys are enjoying the full assembly of the Evangelion test unit type 01 awake version. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. So let's continue. And the next part we are putting together will be the arms. So she looks like she's going to be a pretty tall girl. All right. And now we're going to start working on the straw with arm. So because you guys will see how it's not that it's flimsy. It's not flimsy. It's pretty solid, but the pieces are very thin, and because they're so thin and rounded all around, it slips from your hand and it's hard to position things. And this thing right here is a nightmare and a half because it's so small and you have to get it in the right way because it's not going in any other way because of how it's recessed. So with that out of the way, let's continue with the Evangelion Test Unit 01. Awake version? Close your legs, girl. Don't give it away for free. Unless they subscribe. Alright, so we'll continue. So this arm will be a little bit different because we're going to start using the yellow part or whatever color this is supposed to be. So the hand is going to be that color, and I think I'm going to go with this hand. Yeah. All right. So we put these small parts together. Sandwiched in between this. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to put these two pieces together. Or 3 pieces. All right, then if I'm not mistaken, that's the bicep. Okay, so now we're going to start assembling the rest of the bicep. So snap together. And you have to make sure that this black PVC part does not come off. Okay. And you seal it just like that. Right, perfect, and we have the PVC lining up for the next part. Excellent. So you see how small this piece is? And if that's not in the right orientation, it's not going to go into the shoulder part. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay, the cut was very clean. Oh my god, I actually got it on the first attempt. I can't believe I got it on the first attempt on this arm. It took me like so many tries on the first arm. Right, and now we're going to place these ones. These ones were nowhere near as difficult. So there's no placement indicator of which one should be first and which one should be second. There you go. Got it in. Okay. All right, so now we're going to put these parts together. So let's put this all together now. All right, like this. And then you seal it in with this part. I don't know, like this, I'm afraid of putting too much, like I put a lot of pressure already, but I'm afraid of breaking it if I put too much pressure. Right, and then we're going to put in the shoulder part. Like that. And the heavy side into the recess right there. And what do you guys think is going to go over here? Like if you think it's going to be the foot. Subscribe if you think it's going to be the arm or the hand. Right, so now we're going to do the hands and we're going to attach it to the rest of the arm. So whoever said that it was the hand, give yourselves a hand and give my channel a... Okay, so let's line up the pegs to the holes. All right, hand has been assembled. My hand is too big for the screen, I guess. Right, and now we're gonna attach it to the forearm. Beautiful. And there's on the other side. And here are both arms. So both of them are a little bit different, as you could tell. I like the contrast of the fist with the open hand. Beautiful details, huh? Like, subscribe, like, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right, so the next part we're going to work on. So, we have the arms, we have the legs. So now we're going to work on the chest. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you are, please support the channel by liking every video that you watch and right there, subscribing. We're actually making the head. And oh boy, it's not a lot of pieces. But this is the jaw. This is God knows what. And that's the top of the head. All right, let's get to it. So you have to trust that you are placing this in correctly. Okay, so now we're going to assemble these parts. Again, for comparison. I am a very big guy. I'm not fat. I work out, but I am a big 230-pound man. Flat. Yep, like that. So I thought it was supposed to stand up, but it's like this. Okay, so now we're gonna, so this is the top jaw, and this is the lower jaw. So the pig is gonna go through the hole. Okay. So some things are very small, I need to do them off camera because I need to be able to see what I'm clearly doing. So that's the lower jaw. And now this part. All right, so this was not a easy part, and I'm sure through the much trial and error, I wore down the latch. Okay, so let's attach this part for starters. So that's the easiest part. Okay, and now these ones, God, I don't even know which one goes on what side. I'm surprised I got it in the first try. Okay, and now we put God, I'm gonna break it. Jaw came off. I'm not pushing it further than this. All right, at least it looks good. Right, and then you attach very carefully the first hole, and then you like this kit, like all the kits that I built so far have had hard parts, but they've also had, okay, so we take this part and what I could tell in the instructions, it goes on the top peg, and then we sandwich it all. Okay, and that's the neck. Okay, and a really cool part, if this is correct, the knob over here lifts up the neck part. Okay, and then finally, we have the head assembled. It does look fantastic though, it does look fantastic. Alright, so that's it for the head part of the video. Now we're going to go and work on the upper part of the chest. So now we're going to finish up the rest and do the upper body. So I already started. These were kind of like nothing pieces, so you just attach this top part over here to the top peg. You attach the slider over here, and then you put this cap right there before I put a cap in you. Okay, so the first part, we put the orange part right in there. And then hard to see from my angle. Okay. And now we're attaching what looks like the chest part. I've never wanted to finish a kit faster than the Evangelion, and it was the thing that I was looking forward to the most. Okay, and now the top part. Okay, so now we're gonna put these three pieces together, and this is where that whiny little coward Shinji pilots the EVA unit, and he goes right in there. Okay, and now we're going to slide into the DMs. Alright, so to get it in, you pretty much have to slide it in like this. Okay, and then you get them down in the like that. Right, we got it. Okay, so this cap part goes on top over here where the tube is. And then you cap this part. And then the T lines up with the T. And just like that. right, we're getting there, we're getting there. It's not going any further. So word of warning, when you get here, you will have to push hard. You will hear it snap in. So first link. Long part pokes out. Yeah, no way I was doing this part on camera. Jesus Christ. My God. This, Koto Bukiya, this will likely be the only model I ever buy from you guys. It's so, well, at least in Evangelion. Oh my God. You can't see it, but I'm trying to stick this part in. Now, I don't swear in my videos, but these two pieces can go completely F themselves. 10 minutes trying to put this freaking piece in. Okay, and now we're going to insert the core. Or at least whatever they used for the coating of it is actually really nice. I was contemplating if I should paint it metallic red, but it actually looks pretty cool. It almost looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny Evangelion, and all of the other units used to laugh and call her names like Shinji's mom. Okay, so now we're going to assemble these parts. First shoulder in. Now for the second one. So the shoulders are on a curve, so they go in weirdly. So they're like that. And then we take this piece And you really can't see what you're doing. So you have to trust that it's in, but again, you don't see what you're doing. So anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to pinch them, you're going to close this in over here. So I'm going to do this part off camera because this is going to be such a pain in the freaking ass, because I've been trying to do this before for like 10 minutes. And you got to make sure that this, the part with the hole is at the bottom. Oh my God. Okay, that. So it's really so difficult to see what you're doing because the pieces are very dark black and it's hard to see them also. So something's got to be wrong. All right, so this is as tight as it goes. Okay, moving on to the shoulder parts. All right, so we're assembling this part first. So the two black pieces go together. Sorry, I was away from the camera. So you sandwich these two parts together. And then this part goes on the outside. So, as always, you line up the pegs and the holes. Snap, crackle, pop. Everything is in. All right, so now we're going to assemble these parts. So you take the black fins to start with. Line them up. I don't know why, man, I was expecting the kit to have been bigger. Especially at the $90 price. Oh, sorry. So this part is going to go in over here. Yep, I completely messed that up. Yeah, and this part. Right. Like that. Okay, so we're pretty much done, apart from the weapons. So we have the body, but there is one part that is missing, and it's not indicated anywhere in the book where it would go, and that's these pieces over here. All right, so let's start putting her together. Son of a bitch. This took forever to finally get in place. So let's move on to the shoulder, shall we? Okay. So there's that. Piece of plastic junk. Like I said, this has been my least favorite kit to build from the... You god! Get the hell in there. And I don't know if it's designed. Okay. I guarantee by the time I finish assembling this, the top part is going to come off. Okay, let's put in the other arm. Okay, perfect. Now for her neck. Perfect. her head. Yeah, go fun yourself. All right, go fun yourself. This is why I hate Shinji. All right, and finally, the halo. And the halo goes to hell. All right, and there she is, the EVA Unit 0108 version. God damn it, it was such a freaking massive pain in the ass. She was such a massive pain in the ass. It looks fun, looks very nice, of course. But this was not my first choice for an EVA unit. I wanted the original purple, green, and black. But can't find that anywhere over here for under $200. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the assembly video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Char Michael Le Creuset out. Later.